What's up, everybody? We finally have a chance to see this Sportster S in person. And let me tell you, I got the chance to sit on it. And yeah, it's a different style of a bike for sure. It's definitely taller than the other Sportsters I've ridden. Perhaps it's very similar to the Roadster's height, about at 30 inches. I think it's actually slightly higher. Let me check on that. And surprisingly so, when I was just looking at the videos of the Sportster S and other people's reviews, I thought that the seat was going to be very uncomfortable or very flat, but having a chance to actually sit on the bike, it's actually not too bad. I mean, other than being slightly more taller than the other Sportsters, I find it pretty cushy. Turning on the bikes, very similar to the bike that's next to me, which is the Pan America. The controls are pretty much exactly the same, I think, as well. Like, this is probably the most technology the Sportsters have ever seen, maybe even for a Harley Davidson in general. It has heated grips. It's got cruise control for a Sportster, which is crazy. And then you have all these controls that will adjust your Bluetooth and some of the options you have on the menu in front of you. Unlike the Pan America, which is a big LED rectangular screen, you still have that classic Sportster digital odometer in the middle. And right now, let me see, if I'm riding, I definitely do have to look down to look at it, but because it's so vibrant and bright, I think it'll be very easy to see how fast you're going or what RPM you're at. Not sure if this is touchscreen. No, it doesn't seem like it's responding to it. Let's see. Trip A, Trip B. Okay. Let's see. What do we got here? Diagnostics. So it's definitely giving you more options than the 5 things that you get to see on a Sportster's odometer, where it just gives you like digital tachometer and Trip A, Trip B and all that stuff. But this one gives you a lot more like temperature and how much voltage you have on the battery. I'm just going to turn it on to see what it sounds like. Let's see. Ooh. Maybe it's out of battery.
Few moments later.
So, problem with the bike right now is because it hasn't gone out for an actual test ride or anything like that, and it's been sitting at the floor where customers come in and out, kind of like myself, turning on the bike, turning off the bike, and it kind of burnt through the battery. So right now we're trickle charging it, hopefully be able to get one fire up so I can get you guys the startup sound of this Sportster S. As a disclaimer, I'm not going to go for a ride right now or today on this bike because it's going to get dark real soon, and I have scheduled in a time with Steve to be able to do a full-on review for the Sportster S. So it is coming soon. A few of the things that I'm going to look into for the bike is A, how does it brake? Because it does come with a single disc brake, but it is augmented by a 4-piston caliper instead of a 2, so it probably will do its job properly, but I did kind of wish that it would come with a dual disc brake like the way the Pan America did. So I'm not sure why they decided to do this, probably to cut down the cost, but I will be looking out for how the braking power of this motorcycle when I go for a test ride. The other thing is the riding ergonomics. When I get on the bike here, it's definitely taller than my Sportster Iron 883 or the Iron 1200, and the riding ergonomics is a little more sport-like. I'm leaning forward a lot more than any of the sports that I've ridden. Even compared to the Roadster, I think the Roadster was slightly higher, and it's also forward control, right? So I feel like when I have my hands on the handlebar and my foot on the pegs, I feel a little, feel like a clam. Or I have this like taco shaped fold that I potentially feel like I'm gonna get a lot of rider's fatigue, and because I have a lower back issue, usually if I'm bent just slightly forward, my lower back starts to hurt quite a bit after a while, so I'll be looking out for that as well. Definitely I'm going to be looking out for the speed and the acceleration of the Sportster S. I'm going to compare that to the Pan America, which I've ridden before, but more so along the lines with the Softails, and I'm comparing it with the Softails and not the other previous Sportster that has the Evolution engine on it, because I don't think it's fair to compare the two. I mean, I definitely will speak about it, but in terms of performance wise and the price point, because this is competing with the Softail models and in terms of the price, I think it's more fair if I compare the performance of the Revolution Max to the Softail Milwaukee 8. Obviously, I'm going to talk about the handling, how it handles at high speed, how it handles on turns, all that stuff, and I'll hopefully be able to give you guys the full gambit of how I feel on a Sportster after about 1 year of riding experience under my belt. So after watching numerous already made Sportster S review videos out there from other motor vloggers and professional journalists out there, I was kind of skeptical on the size of the bike, because from the pictures it looked large, but then when there was somebody in front of the bike or the reviewer was in front of the bike or on the bike, it looked smaller, right? So now that I actually got up close and got to touch the bike, it's it doesn't feel small. Definitely feels taller. The lengthwise, I do feel a little bit extended from the seat all the way to the forward control foot pegs. And I think that's because for the rider ergonomics, it's a bit stretched and folded. And I think that will develop a little bit of rider's fatigue, at least for me and my way of riding. But I am excited to try this out. So for those who are interested and have a lot of questions about this motorcycle, put the questions in the comments below, and then I'll try to answer all of them for you while I'm riding. Or if while I'm doing the post edit of the video, I'll still look at your questions and then I'll try to answer it off camera so you guys can get the full knowledge of what my thoughts are for the Sportster S. But one of the big issues that I've been finding right now online currently is the Harley technicians at their local dealership are having issues with working on the Revolution Max, not because the Revolution Max engine is bad or anything like that, but because they don't know how to work on it. And that's kind of the issue every time Harley Davidson or any other motorcycle company decides to release a new type of engine. But for this bike, I have been seeing a lot of owners' reviews after riding it for 3-4 months that they love this bike, guys. So I'm very excited for this. And you guys let me know on what you guys want me to talk about or answer for you. Till then, ride safe, ride prepared, ride on. Peace.